Stakeholder power: how to build strong relationships for business growth. Hello to everyone. Welcome to our channel. In this video, we're diving into a topic that's critical for any business. Stakeholders' interest versus influence. Whether you're launching a startup or managing a growing company, understanding how stakeholders impact your business can be a game changer. So, who are these stakeholders, and why are their levels of interest and influence so important? Stakeholders can be anyone with a vested interest in your business, from investors and customers to employees and local communities. Each one has different priorities, and knowing who holds the most influence versus who has high or low levels of interest can help you make smarter, more strategic decisions. Imagine your investors have high influence, but low day-to-day interest in operations, while employees have high interest but less overall influence. Navigating these dynamics is key. In this video, we'll break down how to categorize stakeholders, identify their interest and influence levels, and explain why this balance is vital for sustainable growth. With high interest but low influence, stakeholders might be engaged and supportive but may not shape major decisions. On the flip side, high influence but low interest stakeholders can have a big impact but may need special strategies to stay engaged. Getting this balance right can help you focus your time and resources, boost collaboration, and reduce potential conflicts. By the end, you'll understand how to create a tailored approach for each stakeholder, whether they're a high-power, low-interest investor or a dedicated, highly interested team member. So if you're ready to take your stakeholder management to the next level, hit play. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay updated with all our tips on mastering business relationships and growing your company. Here is how you can deal with your stakeholders based on their level of interest and influence in your business. 1. Dealing with stakeholders who have low interest and low influence. When dealing with stakeholders who have low interest and low influence, it's essential to approach them with a balanced strategy that respects their role without overwhelming them. Think of these stakeholders as low-key supporters. They're not deeply invested in the day-to-day or decision-making, but they still play a part in the bigger picture. So, how do you keep these low-interest, low-influence stakeholders informed and engaged without overloading them? Let's break it down. First, keep your communication simple and clear. These stakeholders don't need to know every detail, they just need the essentials. Think about sharing only high-level updates that summarize the business's progress, key milestones, or any changes they should be aware of. By providing essential information, you're respecting their time and attention while still keeping them in the loop. Second, minimal contact is key. Since their influence and interest are limited, there's no need for regular, in-depth check-ins. A quarterly update or an email summarizing business highlights is usually enough. If they do have questions or want to get more involved, you can always make yourself available, but keeping the touchpoints light helps you focus on stakeholders who are more actively engaged. Finally, make it easy for them to access information when they want. Consider providing an online resource, like a shared document or a summary report, that they can look at on their own time. This way, they stay informed without feeling pressure to keep up with every small update. By managing low-interest, low-influence stakeholders with a thoughtful, low-maintenance approach, you're not only respecting their boundaries, but also building a professional relationship that benefits everyone. 2. Dealing with stakeholders who have low interest and high influence. When it comes to stakeholders with low interest but high influence, managing the relationship requires a strategic approach. Even if they aren't actively involved in your business's day-to-day operations, these stakeholders hold the power to impact your business's outcome. So, how do you treat a stakeholder who may not care too much about the details but has the authority to make big decisions? Let's dive into some effective strategies for balancing their needs and keeping your business on track. 1. Monitor their position and needs regularly. One of the most crucial steps is to monitor these stakeholders regularly. Even though they aren't involved daily, their views and priorities can shift, and it's essential to stay ahead of any potential changes. By keeping an eye on their perspectives, preferences, or concerns, you'll be ready to adapt if their involvement suddenly becomes critical. This doesn't mean constant check-ins, but rather staying aware of any shifts in their professional landscape or organizational priorities that might affect their stance on your business. Checking in periodically and having an ear to the ground can help you anticipate any new needs they might have before they even bring them up. 2. Provide concise, high-level updates. With low-interest, high-influence stakeholders, your communication needs to be targeted and efficient. They don't want every detail, they want to know that things are under control and that the business is progressing as expected. So, stick to concise, high-level updates that highlight key achievements, major milestones, or any potential challenges on the horizon. Keeping updates short and to the point shows respect for their time and gives them the assurance that you're on top of things without requiring them to dig into unnecessary details. Consider sending them a monthly or quarterly report that's tailored specifically for their level of involvement. It could be a quick email or a one-page summary that provides them with a snapshot of the business's status, any significant changes, and what's coming up next. This approach shows that you're keeping them informed while still respecting their low interest level. 3. Anticipate their needs before they ask. One of the best ways to build a solid relationship with high-influence stakeholders is by anticipating their needs. By understanding what's important to them and the bigger picture of their role, you can predict what information or actions they might require even before they ask. For example, if your business is approaching a critical decision point, consider preparing a brief summary of options or risks they might want to review. Or, if there's a potential issue brewing, be proactive in informing them about it and outlining your action plan. Anticipating their needs helps in two ways: it keeps them feeling valued and respected, and it minimizes the risk of unexpected disruptions if they suddenly decide to intervene. This proactivity can strengthen trust, showing them that you're not only aware of their influence, but also prepared to keep them in the loop in a way that aligns with their needs. 4. Build a positive connection without overwhelming. Lastly, even though their interest is low, it's still valuable to maintain a positive, professional relationship with these stakeholders. Keep in mind that their low interest today could change if they become more invested in your business's outcome. By nurturing a respectful connection, you leave the door open for deeper engagement if they choose to step in. When you take the time to monitor, anticipate, and deliver only the essential information to high-influence, low-interest stakeholders, you're showing them that their input is respected and valued without requiring them to dive into the details. This approach can create a stable, supportive relationship that benefits both you and your business in the long run. 3. Dealing with stakeholders who have high interest and low influence. When it comes to stakeholders with high interest but low influence, the way you manage the relationship can be crucial to your business's success. These are people who care deeply about what you're doing, even if they don't have the authority to make big decisions. Often, they're your champions within the organization, team members, specialists, or users who will benefit directly from your business's success. Treating them thoughtfully can create a positive environment and even build momentum for your business. So, let's explore some strategies for working with these engaged stakeholders. 1. Keep them fully informed. Since these stakeholders are highly interested, they'll want to know all the details of the business. Keeping them fully informed is key to maintaining their support and enthusiasm. They're invested in your progress, so share the big picture updates as well as the finer details that directly impact their work or the outcomes they care about. Give them the inside scoop on milestones, challenges, and any changes to the timeline or business scope. A good way to stay in touch is through regular updates. Consider a weekly or bi-weekly email, or even a shared business dashboard where they can check in on progress at any time. When they feel included in the process, they're more likely to remain supportive and enthusiastic, and you might find they bring in valuable feedback and insights that can help your business succeed. 2. Monitor their feedback closely. While these stakeholders might not hold much direct power, their feedback can be incredibly valuable. High-interest stakeholders often bring a ground-level perspective, noticing issues or opportunities that those at the decision-making level might miss. That's why it's essential to monitor their feedback and respond thoughtfully. This doesn't mean you have to implement every suggestion they make, but acknowledge their input and show that you're considering their perspectives. It builds trust and keeps their motivation high, even if they can't directly influence outcomes. If they bring up concerns or notice areas for improvement, take the time to discuss these with them. Letting them know you're listening and making adjustments where feasible will strengthen the relationship and demonstrate that their input matters. 3. Foster a collaborative environment. High-interest, low-influence stakeholders can become some of your biggest allies in the organization. By creating a collaborative environment where they feel empowered to contribute ideas, you give them a sense of ownership and involvement. For example, you might involve them in brainstorming sessions, task force meetings, or even user testing if applicable. This helps them feel valued and part of the journey. Encouraging collaboration isn't just about boosting morale, it can also add practical value to your business. These stakeholders often bring expertise, fresh perspectives, or insights that may influence minor adjustments or improvements. This also means that if you face challenges or resistance, they're more likely to advocate for your business within their own circles. 4. Keep communication open and transparent. Lastly, open and transparent communication is crucial. These stakeholders want to know that they're fully in the loop and that there aren't any surprises lurking around the corner. If any major changes are coming up, make sure they're the first to know, especially if those changes impact the areas they care about most. Being transparent also means sharing both the good and the bad. If there's a delay or challenge, let them know as soon as possible, along with the steps you're taking to address it. By being honest, you build trust, which is especially important for maintaining long-term support. In summary, high-interest, low-influence stakeholders are some of your best allies. By keeping them fully informed, closely monitoring their feedback, fostering a collaborative environment, and maintaining open communication, you'll turn their enthusiasm into a positive force for your business. Even without decision-making power, their support can be incredibly influential in ensuring your business's success and creating a supportive environment for future endeavors. 4. Dealing with stakeholders who have high interest and high influence. When you have a stakeholder who's both highly interested and highly influential, you're dealing with someone who can make a big impact on your business's success. These are your power players, the people who have a strong stake in the business and the authority to shape its outcome. Managing this relationship well is crucial, as they're likely invested in seeing you succeed, but also hold the power to redirect the business if things go off course. So, let's dive into some key strategies for building a strong relationship with these high-interest, high-influence stakeholders. 1. Engage them regularly. To keep these stakeholders aligned with your vision, regular engagement is essential. Unlike others who might need only occasional updates, these stakeholders should be actively involved in your business's progress. This means more frequent check-ins, not just through email or reports, but with scheduled face-to-face meetings or video calls, where you can discuss key milestones, share updates, and gather their input directly. They're likely to appreciate the chance to be actively engaged, especially if they're passionate about the business's outcome. Consider creating a communication plan specifically for them. For example, you might schedule a monthly or even bi-weekly update meeting and supplement it with written summaries. This shows them you're committed to keeping them in the loop and respecting their role as a key influencer in the business. 2. Keep them satisfied by meeting their expectations. High-interest, high-influence stakeholders often have specific expectations and high standards. Meeting these expectations, whether related to business timeline, budget, or quality, is essential to keep them satisfied. Start by clarifying what success looks like from their perspective. Have a direct conversation about their goals and any priorities they want you to keep front of mind. This insight will help you stay focused on the aspects of the business that matter most to them. It's also wise to proactively address any potential issues or challenges. If you foresee a delay or a change in scope, inform them before it becomes a problem. By staying ahead of potential roadblocks and being transparent, you demonstrate that you're reliable and trustworthy, which goes a long way in building a positive relationship. 3. Seek their input and show it's valued. Stakeholders with high influence can offer insights or resources that could be game changers for your business. So, don't just inform them, actively seek their input. Invite them to weigh in on major decisions or critical steps in the business. If they offer advice or feedback, make sure to consider it seriously, and when appropriate, incorporate it into your plans. Even if you can't implement every suggestion, show them that you're listening. Acknowledging their contributions makes them feel valued and reinforces the idea that you're working as partners toward a shared goal. This builds trust and ensures they'll remain engaged and supportive throughout the business. 4. Keep communication clear and transparent. With influential stakeholders, clarity and transparency are non-negotiable. They'll want to know where the business stands at all times, and any surprises or hidden issues could damage your relationship. Be upfront with updates, and don't sugarcoat challenges. They'll respect you more if you're straightforward, even if the news isn't always positive. You could also consider providing real-time access to business data or dashboards so they can see updates at their convenience. This level of transparency not only builds trust, but also lets them feel more in control, even when they're not directly involved in every detail. 5. Celebrate milestones and acknowledge their impact. Lastly, don't overlook the power of recognition. When you hit a major milestone or achieve a key goal, take the time to celebrate and acknowledge their role in the success. Send a thank you note, mention their contributions in meetings, or include them in team celebrations. These gestures reinforce that their influence and engagement are making a difference, and it keeps their enthusiasm for the business high. In summary, high-interest, high-influence stakeholders need regular engagement, clear communication, and recognition. By keeping them satisfied, valuing their input, and celebrating shared successes, you'll build a relationship that strengthens not just this business, but any future collaborations you may have with them. To wrap up, understanding how to build strong relationships with stakeholders is essential to business growth, especially when dealing with high-interest, high-influence stakeholders. These individuals are pivotal. They have a strong personal investment in the project's success and the power to shape its direction. By keeping them engaged and informed, meeting their expectations, and acknowledging their contributions, you're setting the stage for a successful, collaborative relationship. Regular engagement is key here. Frequent check-ins, tailored updates, and opportunities for direct input keep these stakeholders aligned with your project goals. They'll appreciate being kept in the loop and valued as partners. It's also crucial to be transparent. By being clear and upfront about both successes and challenges, you build trust, showing them they're working with a reliable and honest team. Additionally, actively seeking their input and recognizing their impact strengthens this relationship further. High-influence stakeholders often have valuable insights and resources that can help you overcome obstacles or refine your approach. When you take the time to listen to and acknowledge their input, they feel appreciated and motivated to continue supporting your efforts. In conclusion, stakeholders with high interest and influence should be treated with care, respect, and professionalism. They aren't just bystanders, they're partners who can drive business growth forward. By prioritizing their needs and satisfaction, you create a foundation of trust and cooperation, ensuring that both your project and the larger goals of the business have the strongest chance of success. Building these powerful relationships is more than a management tactic, it's a strategic advantage that keeps your business moving forward. Do you have any additional stakeholder mapping tips that have been useful for you? Please share your ideas with us in the comment section. Remember to like and share this video with people that you would like to enhance their financial status. This channel is dedicated to discussing business and personal development. We invite you to explore other exciting topics that are regularly posted on this channel. I wish you a good business startup and continue educating yourself with RBE. See you in the next video on this channel. Thank you for watching this until the end.